Live from the Peoria Chamber of Commerce headquarters in Peoria, Arizona, you're listening to Breakthrough Thinking. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. If it's the first Wednesday of each month, it is the Peoria Chamber Radio Hour, and we have some very exciting guests today. This is going to be a great show, and it's going to be something that will, especially here in Arizona, will have an outlet for fun entertainment. If you're a patriot, you definitely got to come out and see these two men that have created this organization, Greg Cook and Patrick Stroud. Welcome to the show.
Well, it's great to be here, and Happy New Year, too, by the way.
That's right. It is now January, what is it, the 4th?
The 4th.
Already, can you believe it? Time flies so quickly. And all of a sudden, it was New Year's Day, and now it's the 4th. The year's almost over.
Where does the time go? Thank you, Dave, for having us on the show today. We really appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. We're really excited. And tell us, first of all, why don't we just let's do a little bit of your background first, because I think that will set the tone for what you're going to talk about coming up. So let's say you're both pointing to each other. That's the sign of a great partnership. You want each other to go first.
We're co-equals.
Well, let me just start out with the fact that I came down here a number of years ago after having bit by the hydroplane bug in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho in 2013 with some ideas of spending my winters in the sun and blue sky around water. Met Fred Finney, who's the owner of the Phoenix Tour Boat out at Lake Pleasant. He suggested that would be a wonderful place to put on an event such as we're proposing here now. Of course, at that time, I had the great fortune to meet Colonel Cook, and we quickly learned that this was the guy that I would want to be my partner in this type of an event. So he's our company spokesman and chief executive officer. We're here because of the sea, the sand, the perfect, obvious spot for an event of this type. And I think every element is here that would help ensure the success of such an event. So with that, I'll give you the Colonel.
The Colonel. I should have addressed you as the Colonel, but then they would have thought you made chicken.
That's right.
I don't want to do that. However, I do like their chicken.
It's funny. My grandfather looked like Colonel Sanders.
Oh, is that right?
So they used to
Maybe
call
it
him
was.
Colonel
You
Sanders.
have a big inheritance coming your way.
Well, I wish, but not quite. Yeah, Pat likes to call me the Colonel because, I did spend a career in the military in the Air Force. And, of course, Pat is a Marine Corps veteran from Vietnam. And that is
you guys still get along. You're the Air Force versus the Marines.
There's no verses. We all fight together.
Yeah, that's true.
We all fight together.
So the military gets along, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's certainly competition among the branches, and that's part of the fun and the flavor, because life is about competition, is it not?
It is indeed.
So you think about our event, and just to introduce it to our audience here, it's the H2OMG Festival at Lake Pleasant.
That is clever. I got to say, who created that? Who invented that?
It's pretty funny because our website designers used that little phrase, H2OMG, several years ago to promote hydroplane racing in North Idaho. And then one day Pat and I were saying, what do we want to call this festival? And we were sitting around drinking a beer on the lake together. And we said, you know what? I really love this H2OMG thing. So let's really just do it. It's exciting. It's fun. It conjures up images of excitement. And it's all about the water. It's all about the water, Dave.
Yeah, and it's all about how you say that, H2OMG,
exactly.
Right? You could say it so many different ways.
Yeah, and we've had people come up to us and say, is this a religious thing? We say, it's whatever you want it to be. It's oh my goodness, it's oh my gosh, it's oh my God, and I like to say, oh my God bless America, because this is a patriotic event, and that's the way we feel.
So the event is Arizona H2OMG Festival at Lake Pleasant, which is a beautiful place. I told you guys I just moved near there, about 15 minutes away. It's really nice. They got, of course, Dylan's Restaurant. But why don't we go through, first of all, how you created this event, what your thinking was, how long have you been planning this? I think it's your first event. Mm-hmm. Why don't we go through a little bit of that background on this particular event?
It's not quite our first event, and I'll explain that in a moment. But as I was mentioning to you earlier, Dave, Pat and I grew up in North Idaho, and we've been hydroplane racing fans since we were kids. Pat was exposed to them on Lake Coeur d'Alene in the 60s, and I was exposed to them in the late 70s, early 80s on the Columbia River in the Tri-Cities, Washington area. So we've been hydroplane race fans for years and years and years and years. And in those days, it was fun. There was a lot of thunder and loud and power. Think NASCAR on the water, except this is thunder on the water. And so Pat was one of the originators to bring the Diamond Cut back to Coeur d'Alene in 2013 after a 40-year absence. So Pat has been deeply involved in hydroplane racing planning for the last 4 years. And then I came on as a spectator and then as a planner a year later, beginning in 2014. So we've been planning hydroplane racing for almost 3 years. As Pat mentioned, he got turned on to Lake Pleasant about 2 years ago. 1 year ago, we started really getting deeply into planning, and we got our permits in September.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Just like 4 months ago.
And we have been crashing ever since, developing a really spectacular vision for a festival that we think is going to be one of the crown jewels in the winter lineup of Phoenix events.
That is so cool. So was that difficult to get permits?
Well, it absolutely is quite a process, and we have to thank Glenn Vorthrum's out at the Maricopa Water District, and R.J. Carden at Maricopa Parks, and Jen Waller, and Fred Finney, and we could just go down to George Cairo Engineering, Dillon's now. We have tremendous support behind us. Everybody has enthusiasm for the project.
I think that's a real trademark of this whole event is that everyone is like-minded to create a giant community event to celebrate Lake Pleasant, to celebrate the people here in the Valley of the Sun, and bring them together for a weekend of fun and entertainment in the outdoors. That's what it's all about.
And we should mention the dates, February 23rd through the 26th. Now, the 23rd is that
That's
Friday?
A Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, that's
4
perfect.
days.
So you got a 4-day deal going on.
Yeah. The first night, Thursday, we begin mid-afternoon. And because it is a major sporting competition with American and Canadian teams racing in 5 or more classes of hydroplanes, from little things called sportsman's entry, which kids and young adults can do to get into the sport, up to Grand Prix class hydroplanes, which race at 170 miles an hour, supercharged engine. They are the true thunder on the water that we're bringing to this event.
Man, that reminds me of the Thunder Down Under.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's a different kind of. Isn't that like a Chippendale show?
Oh, yeah, that's right. But I thought I would show off my this information.
Sophisticated,
No, we had a Thunder Down Under guy, I think, on our entertainment show, in fact. But we didn't ask him to dance. That was one thing that was a no-no. Okay, so we want to know where Lake Pleasant is. I know where it is, but maybe there's people that don't know where it is.
Well, roughly it's about 30 miles from downtown Phoenix, 17 north to the Carefree Highway. This puts you right out there on 74th.
Yeah, Highway 74.
Yeah.
That's right. So you could go right to 17 to Carefree Highway. And go west, I guess it is.
Yeah,
right?
Really, it's pretty simple. If you're on the west side, you're going to get, from 101 or 303, you're going to get on, or 83rd Avenue, you're going to get on Lake Pleasant Parkway. It's pretty easy to remember. Lake Pleasant
from there.
Parkway will take you to the Carefree Highway.
You just go, so then you go from.
So then when you hit the Carefree Highway, you hang a left going towards Vegas, and about a mile later, there's signs that'll start leading you into our event.
Got ya.
So it's really pretty easy, and for listeners, the easiest way to remember it, take the Carefree Highway to Lake Pleasant.
Oh, I like that.
It's so easy.
Wow. Yeah.
So all you got to do is find Highway 74. You can get to it from I-17, and you can get to it from Pleasant,
Lake Pleasant
Parkway.
And 303 North.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
that's right. And of course, if you're out in the east, the south, I mean, you got the 10 to the 101, you got the 202.
Yeah. You just got to get on I-17.
And just get to I-17.
Or the Lake Pleasant Parkway.
It's actually
that's how
easy.
you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And it's not that far. Even from Chandler, maybe an hour.
At the most.
Yeah.
Maybe.
At the
20,
most.
It depends on traffic, of course.
That's right. Yeah.
And so
that is really cool. So it's a great place. I've been to Lake Pleasant. Enjoyed Dylan's. One of my favorite restaurants, I got to tell you now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We're really excited to have Dylan's Barbecue as our hospitality partner. Of course, they have 5 amazing restaurants in town. One of them on the marina at Lake Pleasant, where our festival show center is located. And so we are working with Dylan's. They're going to be our hospitality partner. We have VIP zones established, and they're going to be serving barbecue and beverages in our VIP zones as well as to the general public.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
Dylan's food is fantastic. Now, it's celebrating the greatness of America, which, what I've been noticing, and it's been for years now, it's how America really does honor the military, current ex-military. I think it's at every sporting event, I believe, there's some type of honoring. I know all the hockey games they do that, and I think the baseball, football, right? I believe they do.
Probably the difference here is we're going to do it for 4 days straight.
Yeah, that's going to be quite.
There's going to be more American flags waving and more patriotic music playing. And just a celebration of greatness in America, and the reasons we chose that, because as I said earlier, Pat and I bleed red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
We just love this country.
Sure.
A couple guys from Idaho have the opportunity to come down here and create a festival out of scratch,
which is amazing. I so much honor both of you. I know how tough it is to be in business, and to put this huge, as I'll say, huge, as someone else will say, festival on is not an easy task. There's a lot. And,
You're preaching to the choir. We've been doing this
and
for
you
a
haven't,
while.
I suspect this. You said it wasn't quite your first one, but you've had others.
Well, I would say this is our first hydroplane race where we have taken the lead on it.
Yeah.
But again, Pat's been involved, and many of our team members have been part of hydroplane racing in one way or another, from promoting them to designing the race courses to working the logistics of the site. Again, the Diamond Cup in Coeur d'Alene in 2013, we've got about 20 people on our team who were involved in that operation.
Oh, wow.
Plus, we have the entire racing community, the American Powerboat Association and boat clubs throughout the region who run races. And of course, they set up the buoys. They bring the race officials. There's a whole handbook. It's probably 150 pages that specifies how to do all of these things.
So tell me this. As you know, off there we talked about I'm a CPA and a business consultant as well. How did you learn to do this? I mean, as a first big festival, there's so much you have to know. There's so many things you got to check off, but you can't check something off if you don't know it belongs there. Where did you get all this advice from?
Our background set us up for this.
Oh, is that right?
Pat was in the entertainment business.
Yeah. No, we've got it is a lifetime of experiences, and I had the good fortune to be an operations manager of the Sullivan Arena in Anchorage, Alaska in 1983 with Willie Nelson and Hart, and did shows with Bob Hope. And,
oh, wow, really?
Worked with Bill Graham over in San Francisco. We did over 100 shows in the first year. That's a move in, a show, and a move out. In a brand new building that had none of the 300 people that helped to open that had seen or knew where the light switches were before we were handed the building.
Man.
Basically 48 hours before the first show. Sold out show. Two Willie shows and Hart. But as the Colonel said, he's pointed out that, our combined experiences, particularly the strong suit in logistics that the Colonel has, and marketing, and it's basically, I think, for both of us, a lifetime of just understanding what needs to be done and finding the right people. We don't know every aspect of this, but we do. I think both.
Think of it as conducting a symphony orchestra.
Oh, yeah, and you guys are the conductors.
We're kind of the conductors.
Yeah.
And actually, I would say I'm the conductor and Pat's the stage manager because you have to have these different facets to bring it on. And then we have the players, and we cue this and we cue that. And then together they all come in a giant chorus and a great crescendo,
Oh, wow.
So
and you look at it that way,
yeah,
too.
You can.
And which means you rely on so many different parts, which in this case are people and contractors and service providers, and there's so many moving parts.
But there's negotiation with setting it up, reserving
there's
it.
There's a lot of that.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
And we've been doing that
We're both students of history, too, and I studied the great captains of industry, Henry Ford and people like that. Henry Ford had a fourth-grade education. How did he build the most powerful car company in the world?
Yeah.
Because he understood how to delegate authority.
Gotcha.
Which our military background schools.
That helps.
Yeah. And I think that the discipline and the training that the military provided to us, in terms of we're driven by a mission, and we have prepared ourselves to conduct this mission. But we are part of a bigger team and a much larger team that grows daily in order to do a bigger mission. So whether in our early years in the military, we were at the tactical level. Pat is a combat Marine who served in Vietnam and was wounded twice and has 2 Purple Hearts on his chest.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really proud of this guy. I love this guy.
We're
brothers in arms. We're brothers in arms.
We're combat veterans, believe me.
And I spent 22 years in the Air Force on active duty.
And that's a special bonding, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
I mean,
every veteran has that bond. It doesn't matter what service.
Yeah, even if you didn't serve at the same time or together at the same place.
It's like we're foxhole buddies.
Yeah.
And
no one, very few really realize, I don't even, but I can only imagine how so much, it takes so much trust. If you're out there in combat area, I can't even imagine what it would be like. Maybe you could describe that.
Trust is probably the most important word that you could have that could make this stuff happen. Because we have to trust and believe in each other, and we do. And we have to trust and believe in the people that we gather around us.
Sure.
And soon or later, you're going to find out who the real people are.
Yeah, gotcha.
It doesn't take very long.
Well,
you're right.
And that's part of a military team, no matter what, whether it's an air crew or a platoon, it doesn't matter. Because what happens is as you become brothers and sisters in arms, you learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. And so each one takes their strengths and they employ them, and then you work as a team to help those who don't have the same strengths. And you're always bringing the other up and watching each other's back, and protecting each other. Because when you're in battle, you're fighting for the flag, and you're fighting for your country. But most importantly, you're fighting for each other.
Yeah.
You're fighting for each other.
I think it's important, too. And the message here is to young people out there that are considering a military service, a career, or whatever, you'll never find anybody that was in the military that really says, gee, I wish I wouldn't have done that. You'll find all the time people that didn't experience the military say, gosh, I wish and I realize and understand how much good it would have done for me. Yeah. And I'm sorry I didn't. But for people that have served, it's great training for life and what goes on and prepares you for the necessary ingredients to do stuff like this.
Once again, 2 small-town Idaho guys who were exposed to the world through the military and were exposed to great leaders and great training and great educational opportunities. It changed our lives. Yeah. And now we're giving back. This is one of our ways to give back because we never stop serving others.
And what you're going to give back is a lot of activities you have planned. Hydroplane races, concert, musical shows, exhibits, demonstrations, on-site carnival, food and beverage, yummy, I love that, merchants and vendors, technology exposition, and career fair. Let's go one by one. Tell us what's on the lineup.
Sure. I think you could probably look at this as a state fair level event.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go into the state fair or the county fair or whatever.
But not with weird food, right?
Well, you never know. Well, we have food trucks and other, you never know what you're going to get.
Lobster truck, maybe.
I like the weird food, but
there'll be food trucks, there'll be standard vendors, there'll be Dillons, there'll be a wide variety of food. There'll be a food court.
In fact, this young man over here, also named Greg, he's not a colonel. Oh, you're the colonel. But he is a patriot. He had some... He had chocolate-covered scorpion.
I did.
We had the state fair in our
as
studio.
long as the Maricopa County Health Department will allow them to serve it, and they are licensed, they can serve it.
So that's you can have food trucks then.
Oh yeah, food trucks. It's a food festival. It's all that stuff.
So you're going to have some of that.
A giant
state
carnival.
Fair flair.
This is not a little carnival. It's a big carnival. Guess what? Our tickets are all unlimited tickets. You don't pay for the carnival separately.
I got you.
When you get into the gate, you're entering Disneyland. You're entering our Disneyland. The music is included. The carnival's included. The pits are included. The racing is included. You got to pay for your food. You got to pay for your shirts, and you got to pay for your beverages, unless you're a VIP club member, because we throw some of that swag and food and stuff at you in our VIP club experience.
Well, and we could talk about that too. Yeah. The beverages. What type of beverages will you have?
Well, there'll be, of course, soft drinks and water and all that sort of thing. We're working to bring on our liquor, beer, and wine distributors. There'll be spirit zones.
So you will have that.
Oh, yeah. They'll be, you can call them beer gardens. We can call them whatever. We like to call them spirit zones because that's where the fans will gather and watch the races and enjoy an adult beverage. And there'll also be all kinds of family fare available and great areas for picnicking and all of that sort of thing.
That is really cool. So let's go the hydroplane races. That will be is that every day they're going to have it, a race, or how does that work?
Well, essentially, you've got 4 days of activities on the water. There'll be heat racing and timing and tune-ups and that kind of thing. But
gotcha.
That schedule is still a little bit yet to be determined exactly how it's going to be worked out. But we guarantee you that we're going to have lots of boats and lots of excitement out there.
Yeah. Now, in race car, I think Greg over here, our producer, went to was it NASCAR 1 year?
I did, yeah.
I'd
say like 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. Now, it was my, obviously first time being there, and we were pretty close up, and I didn't have a pair of headphones on. It did ring a few days after, but you know what? It was worth it.
This is NASCAR on the water.
Yeah. So this will be similar.
This is Thunder on the water.
Do people need,
not necessarily.
We may be passing out earplugs.
Okay, just curious.
And you'll find the race crews hand out earplugs because when you're in the pits and these big, powerful engines fire up, the hair on your neck will stand up. Wow. It is so powerful and really breathtaking.
Now, how often is it that a boat will flip over? Because a lot of
hopefully
people might be,
none.
Yeah, hopefully we don't want any injuries.
But it is that kind of sport, though.
But it
is a
right?
competitive sport.
Common thing?
And these big hydroplanes going at 170 miles an hour,
they
throw these giant rooster tails up, and they have wakes. So you remember, a hydroplane bounces on 3 points. It is hydroplaning off the water.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's above the water, and it can hit a wake, it can hit anything, and it can send it airborne. But that's the art and the skill of the drivers, is to stay on the course and in the turns and on the straightaways. It's really, really exciting.
It is. I've seen one. And this was a long time ago, though, so it must be even better now. Yeah. So a lot of good stuff. People love music. Concert music, mainly country western, or that's just a part of it?
Let me just provide a real quick summary of the 4 days so that everyone out there listening can get a sense of how to do it. First of all, it's a weekend event. We encourage everybody to come out, get a camp zone. We got 600 campsites. We have 500 boat slips designed into the boat lines on the water. Come out, camp on the water, camp on the land, spend the weekend, or day trip it from town. But basically, Thursday is opening day ceremonies. Think lighting the Olympic cauldron. We're going to do pomp and ceremony, Star-Spangled Banner, honor guards, flags, all of that stuff. And we'll open the ceremonies, and we expect to have some pretty interesting people either live or piped in to welcome people to the show because it's an international competition. And then we're going to have a pep rally. We're going to have all the teams and boats, and we're going to bring in music and hopefully cheerleaders and marching bands, and we're going to have a giant pep rally and honor the teams. And then we're going to have a Rockin' America concert the first night, which is classic American rock, all the patriotic rock anthems. Think Born in the USA, think Rockin' in the USA, all those classic hits and all that. So that's night one. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the daytime lineup from basically 9 to 5 will be centered on boat racing with music in between. So think race, music, race, music, race, music. a midday concert from noon to 1:30 every day where we'll have a band on stage singing something and in the food court area, and then, again, racing heats, racing demonstrations, qualification runs, and the end of each day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there will be a competitive race for cash or trophies. So that'll be Friday and Saturday, and Sunday will be the Copper Cup Championships, where the real
fun.
Glory, and they'll be racing for the cup.
That's going to be good. Now, you mentioned race music. Mm-hmm. I would add one thing: race, food, music. Race, food,
the food
music.
is always there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The food has to be in there.
So then Friday night, we're doing a beach party. A pirate beach party.
You mean
costume contest,
you're not
Caribbean
Johnny
music,
Depp, are you?
Jimmy Buffett. There might
Johnny
be a Johnny
Depp
lookalike
what
out
was
there.
His name?
You never know.
In the movie, let's see, Pirates of the Caribbean. Jack
Sparrow. Captain Jack Sparrow. I know Captain Greg's going to make an appearance.
Yeah, there you go.
Captain Old Blonde Dog's going to be out there.
Wow, how fun. So tell us about this beach party. It sounds intriguing.
Yeah, well, we're going to bring Caribbean music, Jimmy Buffett, think Parrot Heads and Bob Marley and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to have, after the races are done, we start playing music on the stage. So we want people to come out, have a great time, enjoy the spirit zones, eat food, listen to music, dance, celebrate, have fun. That's Friday
really
night.
Cool.
And then Saturday is probably the most exciting day to us because that's our Hometown Heroes and Champions Day.
Oh, wow.
It's all about those who have served in uniform. And this is not just the military. It's law enforcement, it's firefighting, emergency medical technicians, the people who defend our freedom at home and abroad and save lives every day. They're the front line.
You're going to honor them. And how are you going to do that?
Well, we're looking with our sponsors and others to be able to provide as many complimentary passes to our uniformed service members. That's active duty, retired, reserve, all the armed forces branches, and then again those in the firefighting, law enforcement, anybody with an ID that says I'm a uniformed service member, we want to get into the gate for free and give them flags and all kinds of stuff. Wow. But then we're putting on a USO show. And it's going to look and feel like a USO show.
Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll have patriotic music. We have patriotic acts. We intend to honor every generation from World War II to the present in turn.
Oh,
so
really?
think about, we'll start with World War II, and we'll set the stage, and we'll get some era music. It'd be the Andrews Sisters or Bing Crosby or somebody,
So you're going to have someone that represents that music at that time.
We have acts already lined up who will be playing
in itself would be
era music. It'll be very nostalgic. And we hope that in that audience will be members who served during that decade. It'll be the 40s.
Yeah.
And we want them to stand and be recognized and thanked.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll do that with Korea and Vietnam and the 80s and the Gulf War and Iraq and Afghanistan. We're going to walk through all of that. And we hope people will wear their uniforms and bring their families and give all of us a chance to thank them and welcome home.
And next year you will add North Korea. Okay, hopefully not.
Yeah, and Saturday's kind of country music day. Okay, so
I love country.
So we'll
music.
have we'll have patriotic country music on the stage, and that night we'll close with a great patriotic concert featuring mostly country music stars, including some locals like Ashley Wineland, who went to Deer Valley High School here.
That was awesome.
In Glendale. Yeah,
good stuff. And
stuff like that.
Now, what are the hours, by the way? I think you may have said that.
3 to 9 on Thursday.
9. Okay.
9 to 9 on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then 9 to 6 on Sunday. So
good hours.
The
Those
races
are good.
will close Sunday afternoon, and there won't be a nighttime concert then. But we'll have a midday concert on Sunday as well.
That is just the coolest, I got to tell you. So you're going to have merchants and vendors. Talk about that a bit. Who do you have? And are there other opportunities right now for people to become either a sponsor of some sort a merchant, a vendor, somehow talk about that?
Yes, and yes.
I thought so, yes.
Yeah.
And that sounded like Meg Ryan, except you didn't pound on the table.
Well, again, the speed at which we've had to build this project.
Yeah.
We got our permits in September, and so we have put this entire project, the meat on the bones,
that is
in the
not
last
easy.
4 months. It's been
well,
hugely,
you work at 24/7, right?
pretty much.
I believe it.
And of course, during the holidays, everybody takes a month off except us. And
You're right,
so
yeah.
we have what I would say prime the pump. In other words, we have launched our website, we've launched our promotions. Our tickets and our purchasing opportunities are going live this week. We are already reaching out to sponsors and vendors and merchants who can, but it's not online yet. So it'll be online within a week. And we encourage everybody, if you want to set up a vending booth, whether it be a 10 by 10 booth or a food truck, or 30 by 50 retail outlets selling motorcycles or boats or RVs or whatever, all of this space is available. And it's all going to be out there now. And we have 4 different levels of sponsorship, from small business packages to corporation level packages.
Oh, wow.
So you can sponsor a boat, you can sponsor a race, you can sponsor the Freedom Stage. We want a company to come out and say, we want to have our name on the Freedom Stage.
Oh, yeah.
And so all of that stuff
is available right now?
It is at this moment,
wow.
yes. And so we're hoping for a great patriotic company to come forward and basically support the USO show. By the way, the USO show, the USO will be there. It's a fundraiser for the USO.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Because they're trying to raise $17 or so million this year
to
build another something like 10 to 20 new USO centers around the world.
Oh, my. I had no idea.
So this is a fundraiser for the USO, and it's to support our veterans and serving members everywhere.
Wow. That, what a great thing that you are doing for not only the veterans, but the country. I think this could partly heal the country, in my opinion, the way it sounds. Is that
exactly our point?
Kind of, we feel the same way.
Yeah,
of course,
and it needs some healing, and doesn't matter what side you're on.
Time to move on.
Yeah, just have some healing, and let's, America's America.
Not to get into election politics at all, but, America is not going to be great again. It's great right now.
Well, it is.
And that's our point.
It's
let's
the best country in the world, right?
Let's celebrate it. We have so much to be thankful here, and we're blessed, again, to live in this country where we are free to do so many things.
No question
to
about
make
it.
our lives.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
I agree.
To set goals and to go after them. And if you want to talk about breakthrough thinking, this is what our major intent with this event is. It's not about hydroplane racing. It's not even about the festival. It's about bringing people together in a celebration of America and inspiring our youth to consider careers in these uniformed services, to consider careers in technology and STEM. And so everything that we're doing is designed to demonstrate that and give them that hands-on. And we hope that we have budding, race car drivers and engine mechanics and people who want to build race cars and boats or go serve in the military or serve in the police. That's what we want to inspire with this event.
Which I bet it will, no question about it. Now, and leading into that technology and a career fair, that's the perfect opportunity for people to get their feet wet and learn a little bit about what's going on. So talk about that technology part of what you're doing in the career fair.
Go ahead. You're much better at it than I am.
Well, that's why I have the spokesman, I guess, because I talk a lot.
He is the company sportsman.
Well, I think you can feel our passion for what we're doing. Yeah. And we believe that energy is what drives everything. The natural energy that we have as people and the quest to be more than just a person. And so when we set up this giant exhibition hall, it's about helping people to understand what this place and that we're doing the festival at is all about. So it's a celebration of water. It's a celebration of copper. Think about the value of copper. It's in every wire.
That's right.
We take it for granted. Yeah. And Arizona is the copper state, which is why we chose the Copper Cup.
Yeah,
and so we hope that through our exposition, through some of the educational components of it, that people will understand how important copper is in our world. and how important water is. The most abundant element on Earth, and yet many times the most scarce.
That's right.
And so, Lake Pleasant results from a dam as part of the Central Arizona Project managed by the Bureau of Reclamation. And so part of our goals are to help people understand how important these projects are, these great feats of engineering. And again, encourage people to enter engineering fields to help contribute to this water management, to help contribute to the projects, to be part of that. Yeah. So that's, again, part of what we're doing. So that's the technology fair. It's about the water, it's about copper, it's about technology, it's about military and uniformed services and all of that. It's also about, this wonderful natural resource, this wonderful lake, and the wildlife out there. And the burros and the coyotes and the saguaro cactus, and their bald eagles are nesting during this period.
Place.
Hey, I saw on Facebook they have these live cameras on these little bald eagles, the eggs. Did you see that?
I saw one at the Washington Zoo in D.C., but I'm not sure if there's a local one, too.
Yeah, it's been the last couple days, and one of them already hatched, and it's very adorable. Yeah. But anyway, the career fair, so you're going to have people out there talking to kids.
Yeah.
And not even kids, retired military. I mean, all ages, I suspect, right?
We've been working with the Peoria Unified School District, and still needs to have a lot of flesh put on the bones. But basically, I attended their career fair a few months ago for all of the students in the district, and we'd like to take that concept and make it even larger. Yeah. So that not only kids from the Peoria School District, but kids throughout the area have the chance to see and be exposed to all these careers. And because of our uniformed services, and so many veterans do have a tough time adjusting back into civilian life and having new career opportunities.
Especially if they've been in combat, too, right?
Well, we're all a little wounded in one way or another, Well,
that's going to be tough, I would imagine.
I think it's part of the personality and the psychology profile of being in the military is you join the military many times because you have a quest for adventure and a desire to see the world and this natural energy and this, this passion. And then you go into the military, and that passion is elevated, and you go into war zones, and you're performing missions that put you in harm's way and danger, and it changes the way you view things. And so when you come back to society, you bring that energy and that passion and that service with you, and it's hard to sometimes figure out how to re-employ that in the civilian world.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're looking at ways to help create those pathways.
Excellent.
To create those opportunities for kids and veterans. And hopefully there'll be employers there that'll say, we want to hire veterans, and there'll be veterans there that'll pick up an application and get a job.
So you're going to actually have employers there right on the spot.
That's what we're hoping to attract. That's part of what we're trying to attract.
That is awesome.
Encouraging employers and veterans organizations and service providers.
Wounded warriors.
All of that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Are you joint venturing with any of the military groups? I know Sun City has some.
There are so many groups, Dave.
Are there? Okay.
So this is our thing. We have an open invitation. For any group, any business, any corporation, any individual to join us in some way at this festival. Mm-hmm. Whether you're a spectator, whether you're a participant, whether you're a sponsor, whether you're a retailer selling goods, whether you want to help kids or veterans, or you just love the great outdoors and you want to come camp with us, just come on out and enjoy the show.
So what's the best way to experience that? Would you say spend the whole 4 days there if you have a trail, what do you call it, a trailer, or you have a tent? A tent can work? Or do they have
camping is a little bit more challenging out here. The best environment and the way the site is structured is for RV camping. We have 600 campsites engineered into our plan.
That is
on RVs.
Huge.
We have 500 boat line slips on the water where you're several hundred feet from the racers.
Oh, wow.
It's the NASCAR front line.
And you could stay in your boat, too,
You
right?
can stay in your boat.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And we'll have all kinds of support out there. We'll have dump vehicles. We'll have water trucks. We'll have propane. All of that stuff to service all of the vehicles that will be out there.
I don't know how you guys thought of all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is exhausting.
We wake up in the middle of the night.
4:30, we're there answering the phone.
We forgot the traffic control.
Oh, that's out there, too.
It's another Woodstock.
Yeah.
Traffic Cade, Dennis Johnson and his folks are they do
So
NASCAR.
they do that.
Yeah, they're helping us
And
plan
you coordinate with Peoria Police?
Oh, yeah.
They're really cool, by the way, the Peoria Police.
Maricopa Sheriff's Office.
Police, Sheriff,
big
the Coast Guard.
Yeah,
The,
Coast Guard.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Coast Guard Auxiliary.
The Coast Guard Auxiliary is going to be out there.
Coast Guard
on,
does lakes? I didn't know
Of
that.
course, yeah.
I had no
They have
idea.
responsibility for every body of
Really?
water.
They're a big part of the show.
Oh, my gosh.
Huge
this
part.
is huge.
Yeah. In fact, we're meeting with them this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah. After we finish
Wow,
talking
that
with
is
you.
really cool. So let's see how this works. So you can have. Is there such a thing as a 1-day pass?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got a 1-day pass, so that's cool if you want to do that. Then you have a 2-day pass.
No, it's basically we have two types of passes. We have the weekend passes. Adults,
and that's the 4 days.
Adults and children. That's all 4 days.
Okay.
One pass gets you there all weekend. Whether you stay out there for the weekend or whether you come and day trip it, we hope that you'll come many times because every day has something different.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, and those super passes, they're unlimited passes.
Wow.
It's like Disneyland. Once you get inside the gate, you have the carnival, you have the concerts, you have the boat racing. We have a transportation system set up that will drive you around the site, moving you from one part of the site to the other. And we have a water transportation system designed in that will move you from the camp zones on the Lake Pleasant Regional Park side to the festival show because it's a huge site. It's in two places. So people will have to decide where they want to spend their time. There's actually 3 zones.
Wow.
There's the festival show zone, which is Pleasant Harbor, which is where the stage and concert stage and all that sort of thing is. And then there's the camp zone, which is over in Lake Pleasant Regional Park.
Is that the Scorpion Bay?
It's on the way to Scorpion Bay.
How did they get the name, by the way, Scorpion Bay?
Oh, well, I'm not sure.
Do scorpions
They're
like water?
dormant this time of the year.
I hope
sure.
so.
They are?
Yeah.
February, they should be.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's the boat zone. There's the boat zone. So we want people to say, where do you want to spend your time? On a boat, camping in the show zone, or camping in the other zone? And then, so again, 2 types of passes. Weekend Super Pass or Weekend VIP Club Pass, which gives a whole bunch of extra levels of swag and celebrity access and all kinds of stuff. And then the day passes, again, will get you in the gate for 1 day at a time.
Yeah.
And there'll be, parking charges and that sort of thing for parking.
Oh, yeah.
And that's expected. So basically spend the weekend, bring the family, celebrate America, honor the uniformed services. That's our recipe for a great event.
Well, there's no doubt, and I could see how this will definitely turn into one of the major events here in Phoenix. They have a lot of things going on. They've had it in the past. Was it last year? No, 2 years ago they had the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But that's just occasionally, here. But you're going to do this every year, right?
First annual.
Wow, this is really exciting for you
We
guys.
see ourselves as one of the crown jewel events of the Valley of the Sun. You've got Phoenix Open, you've got Barrett Jackson.
That's right.
You have our event of NASCAR.
You got the Arabian Horse Show.
Yeah.
Will be, I think, ending about the time that you start, roughly.
I'm not sure about the horse show.
They draw a lot. We do a broadcast out there every year.
There's always something going on in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Oh, and they draw hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Phoenix
huge.
Open ends 2 weeks before our event.
There's so much going on.
And spring training starts the weekend of our event. So
a lot of action in February.
Lot of things going on. And
the Phoenix Coyotes will be out of the playoffs by then. No, they're out of the playoffs right now.
We won't
time.
touch that one.
They'll be sellers.
We don't know nothing about
Greg,
that.
When's the trade deadline? March? They will definitely be.
Yeah, around there. I don't know the specific date, but
we have a
sure
show on NBC Sports, Real Hockey Talk. So we love the hockey. So that's wow. This is so exciting to have both of you here, and I could see why it will be a success. And of course, the first one, Well, it's a little bit of an unknown.
A little bit.
I mean, I know the quality.
You see
will
the
be there.
bags under it.
Yeah. I because you just until you get the exposure out there, we'll do what we can to help you guys.
Thank you.
Because you're right. I mean, if you love America, this is something to honor and show that you do, and in many ways to support what you guys are doing. Yeah. And I think it's really exciting that the best type of business is to do what you love, your passion, and that's what you both have demonstrated. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much.
That's
a
huge thumbs up. So any closing thoughts, any parting words?
We think that we're going to put together all the ingredients to make this an exciting event.
Yeah.
It is the inaugural year, and, of course, we'll hope to build on what we do this year, the first year.
Sure.
But the boat racing is going to be extremely exciting at all the events, and we just like to see everybody out to Lake Pleasant on the last weekend of February. And,
that's right. February 23rd through the 26th. Now, one other question I did want to ask. Will there be other events that you do other than this one?
Quite possibly.
So there may be other. Other.
We're just trying to get through this one
David.
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
I have just a couple quick closing thoughts too. Of course, just folks, come celebrate America with us. This is such a great country, and
really
honor
is.
each other. Honor each
Yeah.
other. That's our bottom line. And in order to find us, go to our website. It's H2OMGFest.com. And, of course, it's H2O as in the letter O. So H2OMGFest.com. And if you can't remember that, just think about the Arizona Copper Cup. So AZCoppercup.com. And please follow us on Facebook, the H2OMG Festival on Facebook.
Wow.
And through those, you can learn a lot more and see the ticketing opportunities and see the site, how it's laid out, and see all the different ways you can come join us. But just come join us. Show up.
Yes.
Rule number one in life is show up.
And have fun.
And have fun.
Well, Woody Allen said 80% of success in life is just showing up, basically. And so the event, Arizona H2OMG Festival at Lake Pleasant, February 23rd through the 26th. This year, coming up next month. And we want to thank our guest today, Colonel Greg Cook. I love saying Colonel. That's high up as far as I know. That's like really high. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And Patrick Stroud, President and General Manager of H2OMG. And, of course, you were a Marine. And when I think of Marines, I think tough. Really tough.
He's a tough guy.
And we're going to have your favorite radio host in the ring with Mr. Patrick here. I will not go 10 rounds. I will be out within seconds. It will be fun as part of the festivities. I'm just kidding. That I won't do. Okay. Anyway, thank you both so much for coming on. We'll have to have you on again, and maybe after you relax after the festival, we'll have you on again, see how it went.
Sure. We'd love to.
Yeah,
David, Greg, thank you so much for having us.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate it.
Thank you. And this is Breakthrough Thinking, the Peoria Chamber of Commerce radio hour every first Wednesday of the month. And we'll see everyone next month.